Hi guys, Jordan from B&P Campers. Just going to be doing a handover video on this VW T25. So it's a G-Reg VW. What I'm going to do, it's a bit unusual for me to do it like this because it's a bit of an unusual vehicle, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you under the bonnet, which is obviously at the back first, and then what I'll do is I'll just sort of wander around the outside and show you what we've got going on there, and then I'll run you through what we've got inside as well. So what I've done first of all is I've taken off. Originally, when I got to this a minute ago, we had this unit on first, the cushion on top, and underneath all of that is the original engine cover. Okay, so it would have originally just had this part here, but you've obviously got this nice bit here to make it all look the same. Okay, so that's how you get to the engine bay. Just here, in case you never realised, is a little cover to show you the oil filling point and dipstick, which is just that one there, and you've got your overflow tank just here for your coolant, so you can get to the main consumable bits and pieces just there if you need to. But what I'll do, I'll just give you a very I'm no sort of specialist or no real mechanic, but I'll just point you through the basics under here just in case you should ever need to get to any of it. So with a bit more of a classic vehicle like this, there are a few things that you might not think about, as to compared to a modern vehicle, if you like. So you've got your distributor cap just here. You've got your 5 bits are going onto here. You've got 1 coming from the coil and the 4 going off to the 4 spark plugs. So if you wanted to take this off, you've got 2 clips, 1 on either side. That will allow you to take this cap off, and you can see the inside there and see your points. There will be a rotor arm inside here as well, which is another thing that can be a slight cause of any sort of misfires or running rough or anything like that. So keep your eye on those little bits inside there. As I say, it's literally just a case of popping these 2 clips off and you'll have a really good view of inside of there. To the left of that, we've got your coil over here on the left as well. Now this is another thing that can be problematic if you find that it's not running quite right, or it's not running how you might want it to. The coil is another nice thing to do if you ever wanted to do that in the future. But anyway, yeah. At the moment, everything is running absolutely sweet, really nicely, nice and quiet. Got a couple of fuses and relays inside this box here at the back. Fuel lines just here, that's a little filter on there as well. Fuel goes into the carburetor, which is on the top of the engine there as well. So on the carb, it's all pretty straightforward, to be completely honest. You've got a small float just in here. I think this is the fuel float. It's all stuff that you're not going to really get into all of that kind of stuff. But as I say, at the moment, it's all running nice and sweet. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. As I said, you've got the oil filling point just here, which you get to from the outside. Your dipstick is just here. Overflow tank for the coolant is this one here, but your main coolant reservoir is this one that you can get to from under here. Obviously we've got the spark plugs that go in through the sides just here, being the sort of boxer engine that it is. Air filter sits inside this box over here on the right hand side. Your alternator just here, nice tension on that belt there. Just trying to think if there's anything else, sort of simple bits and pieces to run through. I don't think there is really. So yeah, but I sort of mentioned the very brief kind of things to keep your eye on. It's mainly, to be completely honest, they make it really easy where you've got this distributor cap here. As soon as you take that off, you've got the majority of the bits and pieces in there to sort of keep your eye on, are just literally right in front of your eyes. So nice and straightforward. But there you go. As I say, we've had it serviced, it's all been checked over, it's running absolutely sweet as a nut at the moment, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. But I just thought I'd run you through under the bonnet here, because obviously this is a bit more of an unusual vehicle for us. But yeah, there's the basics. So the rest of the vehicle itself is in absolutely lovely condition. When it came into us, all we did was give it a good polish up all the way around, so this red paint is really looking nice. But I really can't fault it at all. Wheel hubs there, really nice and shiny. Can't see any nastiness. I mean, of course, there's a few little dings and little bits and pieces here, there and everywhere, but only very small, very slight things. So really nice one. So on this front near side, if I open up this door here, you can see the door card there. Not a huge amount to run through on this near side. Now you've got the leisure battery sits underneath this near side passenger seat, and the engine battery sits on the off side there. You've got a Sony head unit just there in the middle, a couple of USB points and 12-volt sockets, and you've got a fan just at the top there as well. So your freshwater filling point is this one just here. So the fresh water is your near side, okay? Please don't get that mixed up with the offside, which is where your diesel, your fuel filling cap is. It's a petrol, not a diesel, sorry. I'm used to saying diesel because most of the motorhomes are obviously diesel. So yeah, inside here, we've got your petrol filling point, and that will need your ignition key to get that to open up. Got the original chassis plate just down there as well, giving you the weights. This is a 4-speed manual gearbox. Reverse on these ones, you push in and over to the top left-hand side to engage reverse. So if you just go to the left, you won't be able to find reverse. You need to push down before you go to select reverse, and then you'll find it really nice and easily. Gearbox on this is absolutely lovely. I really genuinely can't fault that at all. A lot of the time on these VWs, it's the gearbox that some people struggle with, but this one is absolutely lovely. As for the rest of the cab, what have we got? So you've got the lights just here, warning light there, so if you have any problems there, I wonder if that's the handbrake one actually. It may well be the handbrake one. So I'm not a huge expert on the VWs, but got the clock there on the right hand side, fog lamp, heated rear window, and your hazard lights from there. Indicators are on the left hand side, and your washers and wipers are on the right. I think that's about it really. It's other than that, it's all very straightforward and basic, as they always have been. So because you've got a 3-way fridge in this vehicle, you have got this vent on the offside here. So if you've got the fridge lit up on gas, you will feel hot air coming out through this little vent just here, and that's a good way to double check that it's definitely working. You've got your electric hookup point just here, which on this particular vehicle only powers the sockets. Okay, so when you plug the hookup cable in, any of your mains powered sockets inside the vehicle will then spring to life. So if I show you what I mean by mains powered sockets, that socket just there, to be honest, is probably the only one, but that's the socket there that will come to life when you plug the hookup cable in. You've got a wind out Omnistor awning, which has been wound out and lubricated as part of the habitation check. The freshwater tank is just here underneath the near side. So as you can see there, that's your water tank, and the drain off point is a little valve just on the off side there of that tank. Really easy to get to. The wastewater, as soon as you put any water down the sink, it just goes straight out down underneath the floor. So you haven't got any waste tank at all. But yeah, that's about it really. So on the inside, as you can see, we've got a really nice finish to this bed. So to use these, you literally lift up like this and pull the entire thing towards you. So it's so easy to use that. And obviously in a normal circumstance, when I haven't taken all that stuff out, you've got a really nice big bit at the back there as well. But anyway, that's all really straightforward stuff, to be honest. Loads and loads of storage inside there, so you've got a really nice deep locker just there for storage. So that's going to be full up, I would imagine, with lots of stuff. So you've got the main control panel, which is this unit over here. That light's not helping at all. It's the only one I can use. Anyway, right, so you've got the main control panel here. Very simple to use. All of these things that look like this are all fuses. Okay, so that's all things that you don't need to press or do anything with these. You just have a little look at them if you think you've got an issue with that appliance. So you can just have a little look on there and it will be either blown or it'll be fine. So that's the idea with those. It's just literally fuses. These two here, the one that said refrigerator on it, You don't need to worry so much about that because the refrigerator actually works completely separately anyway. So you can leave this one alone that says fridge. And the one to the left of it that says water pump, you turn that on and off. So if you want to use the water, you turn the pump on, and then you need to turn it off again when you want to stop using it, because the pump doesn't run itself off on this one. So you need to make sure that you turn it off whenever you finish with the water. But basically, pump on. Water comes through. Pump off. Easy as that. Then got a 12-volt socket just in there, which will be powered from your leisure battery. And we've got a level indicator. So if I press on this little button here, it shows us that we've got a full tank of fresh water. And it shows us that our leisure battery is fully charged and everything is good. And that is honestly it. That's the control panel. It's so easy to use. You know, if you want to start coming in here and using power, you just go for it, really. It's truthfully, there's nothing much else to it. You just use this power, press and hold on this when you want to check if it's okay. If it's down in the amber, it's okay. It just means that, you know, it just means that you maybe need to charge it up a little bit by running the engine up for a little bit. And if it's down in the red, then same goes, really. Either have the battery double checked to make sure that it's still okay with a load tester, or drive it for a little bit and get that battery charging up. So with this particular vehicle, the leisure battery is only charged by the engine running. So what I mean by that is the majority of other vehicles, or obviously newer vehicles, will have a mains powered charger, so that when you plug the hookup cable in, the mains charger starts charging the leisure battery straight away, which I will say is something that you could have fitted if you wanted. All right, we can fit a mains charger for you if you like. It might be a little bit of cable running and all that kind of stuff, but we can do that if that's something you wanted. So for the future, you know, possibly, but see how you go. I would, you know, see how you go with that battery first. But at the moment, the only way that you can charge that leisure battery up is by starting and running the engine. So that is something to bear in mind, and to be fair, that is just how this vehicle has been. So it is okay to use it like that. But yeah, I just thought I'd point that out just so that you know that, you know, if your battery does start going a bit flat, then you just need to run the engine up for a while. That's really all there is to it. So you've got a couple of lights in the vehicle, a couple of LED ones there, got another nice bright light there at the back, and this one just here. All right, all nice and bright. You have got a 2-burner hob and grill. So this will be the original one, and I have been told by the engineer to point out to you that this hasn't got any thermocouple or flame failure device. So it's before the times of all that sort of stuff, really, especially in these smaller units. So what I mean by that, if you don't know, is that a flame failure device or a thermocouple, essentially what it does is it tells the burner when there's no flame there. So for example, if you light one of these up with a lighter and the flame's going and it's all going fine, and then somebody came in and blew the flame out, or the wind blew the flame out, on a modern cooker, the thermocouple is there and it will recognize that flame's gone out, and it will stop the gas coming through so that you can't fill the van up with gas. This one is before that sort of time. It's a bit older than that. So you've got no thermocouple. So if the flame goes out, the gas will continue to come through. So you do need to make sure that you keep your eye on that and make sure that you turn these valves off when you're not using it. Okay, it's really important. But other than that, it's literally just a case of putting a long reach lighter in there and lighting any one of those up. It's so straightforward. I don't really need to run through that. So a bit more storage here underneath the sink. More storage there. I will just mention that these two vents just here below that are both to do with your Propex heater. So you need to make sure that they stay completely clear. You don't put anything in front of those, because if you do, it won't heat up properly, or it might overheat. So you need to make sure, because one of them's for the inlet and one of them's for the actually blowing the air in. So make sure that you leave those uncovered. Otherwise you will have a problem. So And a bit more in here. So you've got a couple of gas isolators. So you've got the one at the bottom is for your fridge. The one in the middle is for the the cooker, the oven, and the grill, and the 2 burners. And the one at the top is for your heater. Just below that, we've got the gas locker itself. Now this is a standard sort of camping gas bottle with one of these spin-on regulators. Okay, so basically at the moment the gas bottle is tucked away just so that you don't have to have it undone or anything like that. But if you wanted to plug this back in, all you need to do is undo the strap that's holding that bottle in at the moment, get the bottle out and spin it onto this little regulator here. All right, just spin it all the way on and then turn this valve here to turn the bottle on. Once you've done that, you will then have gas going through to all of your appliances because all of those isolators are in the on position at the moment. So, last thing, oh sorry, not the last thing, I need to show you the fridge first, but you've also got the Propex heater. So the Propex heater is literally probably the easiest thing that you can use. You've got push to the right for fan only. So what that'll do is it will literally just blow cool air into the vehicle. And you've got numbers here as like a sort of gauge for how powerful you want the heater to work. Back to the middle turns that off. And then to the left, you get a red light and then the flame will come on and you'll get heating coming through. All right, so obviously at the moment I haven't got the gas turned on, so that won't work. But basically, push to the left for the heating, push to the right for cool air. It really is as easy as that. So as I say, that's gas powered, so you will need to have that gas turned on. Right, so the last thing is the fridge. Now, as I said on the outside, this is a 3-way fridge. It's an Electrolux fridge. If I just zoom out a little bit. So you've got this little thing here to allow you to open the door up. So you need to make sure that you take this out before you try and open the door. But basically, if you want to light it up on the gas, we'll be on the left-hand side of the fridge here. You've got an ignition switch here. And you've got a valve just here. And I'm just going to double check something. Right, okay. So take back what I said earlier about that refrigerator switch up there. Leave that turned on. Okay, leave the refrigerator switch turned on. So basically don't touch it now because I had it turned off. So what that fridge button there does, obviously it powers the ignition here for the gas. So that's my bad. Right, so once you've got that button turned on, you can then turn the ignition switch on over here. All right, you can see it flashing. And then all you're gonna do is turn the valve around and just basically wait. Leave it pushed in and wait for it to light up. And you'll know, it's lit when the ignition stops. Okay, again, I haven't got the gas turned on, but that's how you would use it. Back to the little 0 on the right hand side will turn the gas off. Make sure that you turn that ignition switch off when you're finished with it, and that's how you would light it up on the gas. Really, really easy. Over on the right hand side, this is how you would cool the fridge down on either of your powers. So you've got up to the top, which is when you're hooked up on the mains, and down to the bottom, which is for when your engine's running. Okay, you've got a little gauge here to tell the fridge how powerful you want that to work. But basically, the idea behind it would be that you would either get the fridge cold before you leave, either on the mains or on the gas, and then switch over to 12 volt whilst you're driving. The 12 volt, all it really does is keep the temperature inside the fridge as you go along. So it's not really powerful enough to get the fridge cold by itself. So you need to make sure that you pre-cool it on the mains or the gas before you leave, and then just switch over to the 12 volt there for when you're driving. But other than that, it's very, very straightforward. Yeah. So to be honest, I think I have come to the end of the video. I don't think there's much else to run through. The rest of it's all kind of self-explanatory stuff and bits and pieces that you'll work out for yourself. If there's anything you think I've missed out or anything you want going over again, just let us know. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks very much.